Smackdown Live. I'm going to make this brief. I have basically two things to say. One, I heard about Fox going to take Smackdown Live. So I've seen a couple of people do their reviews on it. Well, not reviews, their opinions. Like, Fool Killer's not doing anything. I'm sad that he's not. The Lex Man did something on it. He was decently positive about it. The Sleg Daddy of Off the Rope Show Central did something. He was generally positive about it. I have not seen Andre. I'm going to check his later. I'm sure he did something, and he's probably positive. I'm agreeing with them. It is good to see that WWE did produce a product, even if we don't like it generally. There's still a lot in the product that sucks and it pisses us off. But at least they did produce a product good enough that one of the major four networks, and I'm sure Fox is a major network next to ABC, NBC, and CBS. It is a big enough of a network that they did impress them, and they're willing to pay them a couple of hundreds of millions of dollars, I'm sure, to go to their network. I am definitely sure they're making some good money when they switch over from USA to Fox. Let's just hope they don't go taped. They would stay live. That's what I'm hoping for. They stay live. They don't go taped. And they're not going to be Thursday or Friday. Maybe they'll be Tuesday. Maybe they'll still stay on their Tuesday schedule on Fox. That's what I'm hoping for. Let me say this quickly before I start. You guys tell me below. Do you want me to continue doing SmackDown Live? Do you want me to switch back to doing Raw? Or do you want me to do a little more Raw and continue doing SmackDown? Because I don't get many views here. And it kind of makes me a little upset, to be honest, that I'm not really getting much from SmackDown Live. I mean, I still get a couple of comments and stuff, but I don't really get that many people seeing it. I just want to know, is this the show you want to continue watching? Do you want me to try doing Raw a little more, maybe NXT? Just give me a little input. I'm not stopping SmackDown, but I want some input on what you think. Particularly that if you do want me to switch to going to Raw instead of SmackDown, that will leave me a little more time to do what I've been working on, and I'll briefly talk about that at the end of this review if you wanna hear it. But anyway, what do we get in this show? We got a decent build going into Money in the Bank. I won't say it was incredible, but it was a decent one, and I'm all right with it. It's okay. First thing that made no damn sense, but I'm all right with it that it happened, but it makes no damn sense. It made it so freaking easy. Billie Kay versus Lana. Well, look, Aiden English was great. Him singing about Lana is great. Anybody, tell me how much you don't like Aiden English, because I have questioned people. No one hates him. The guy has talent. He's a great manager, and not a great wrestler, but a decent one. But what he did for Lana was great. Holding that sign saying Lana Day was cool. The crowd is still behind Lana and still behind Rusev, and she won. The problem I have with this is they made this too freaking easy for Lana. I'm sorry. I'm not saying I don't love Lana. I love her as a manager. I've seen almost nothing of her as a wrestler, so I can't say I love her as a wrestler. I don't believe she's at the caliber of a Naomi. I'm sorry. I don't believe it. She may dance maybe near Naomi. Maybe she can dance to a good extent compared to Naomi, but I have not seen her wrestle enough to believe that she's great as a wrestler. I just don't know yet. But this didn't convince me that she can wrestle. She can convince me that she can get away with an easy win, but it does not mean I believe she's a great wrestler. Why couldn't they at least draw this out as a decent match? Yes, she had some matches with Naomi, but when it comes to someone else, you needed a little bit more for this woman who has not been wrestling in months. I have not seen Tamina. I don't give a damn if anybody hates freaking Tamina. I don't care if they say she's nothing but a stupid butch that can't do shit. I believe she deserves a title opportunity and a win. She's been there long enough. Women who suck dick got that damn title before she did. And I'm not saying most of the women done that now. No. I'm saying before the 2010s, there was women sucking dick to get that damn thing. And I'm not talking about Trish Stratus. I'm not talking about Lita. I'm not talking about Mickie James. There have been other women who've done it. And they did it. And they got it. So why couldn't Tamina? I'm just saying that. You want to chew me out, go ahead. I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry for the cursing. I'm sorry. I get a little upset that a woman who deserves better than this, whether she's back there right now, just waiting until she's being seen, or if she's injured, or she's gone off to do something else and may come back, I just believe she deserved better. But Lana, who hasn't been seen wrestling in months, gets it easy like this. And I really feel like it's a disservice to Lana, because I know she can wrestle. But how much do we know she can wrestle? If they care about just shock, I understand why they did it. But Lana should have been allowed to wrestle at least a little bit. I'm just saying. Second thing I have to say, I'm sorry, I would wait later, but I'm going to say it now. Naomi versus Sonya Deville. Yes! I haven't seen Naomi wrestle in months by herself. Have barely seen her wrestle by herself on Smackdown Live. She gets a match, gets against Sonya Deville. It was a good match. Unfortunately, I don't have the shot of them both kicking each other in the, trying to kick each other in the gut. I missed that part. I could not grab it because unfortunately sometimes these streams tend to mess up a little bit. I saw a freeze up about to get the frame when it froze, and then I lost it. But Naomi did win, and I'm glad to see that. Sonya Deville got a little bit of a shine with Naomi. I'm not saying Sonya's a very good wrestler, but at least she did get a chance to be seen in the ring. I'm alright with that. Now, hoping... Let's do the stipulation. No, not the stipulation. Let's go to the Usos versus the Club. You choose the Club of Anderson and Gallows over the Usos. Now, it's understandable they want to move away from the Usos for a little bit because they've been in the main title scene for a little while. They're not going up against an incredibly great team and Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson or the Bludgeon Brothers. Admittedly, seeing it's going to be the Bludgeon Brothers versus the Club, I really don't care. Mind you, I don't hate the Bludgeon Brothers. The Club is, alright. You can take them or leave them. But both of them are not very popular. And instead of having maybe New Day go up against the Bludgeon Brothers, or the Usos again go up against the Bludgeon Brothers, or better yet, the Bar go up against the Bludgeon Brothers, we get Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, which does not make it interesting. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just not interested. Carmella had an interview where we saw her boyfriend, who basically could not wrestle because he has been basically written off because of what happened last week. I'm not going to talk about him, just had to mention him. Was the interview okay when she had the Asuka match? At first, I admit, I thought it was Charlotte. I know it's stupid to think that she's not a heel, but still, I thought it might have been Charlotte. But let's be honest here. Mella being money mean it's a $2 bill. I once got a $2 bill for one of my half-brothers. I said, what is this? I never heard of a $2 bill. He says it's real tender. But it's very rare that's ever been produced, and it's, well, let's put it like this. It's not super worth anything, but it's interesting. That's what you got with Carmella. She's not worth a lot, but you can say at least she's interesting enough as a talker to build into something. Mind you, she'd be better as a manager than she is a wrestler. But this is what we got. I'm just going in the premise that you're going to have Carmella go up against Asuka. We believe Asuka's going to win this. It is obvious Asuka's going to win this. If they don't let Asuka win this, I don't know where they're going with Carmella. Because Carmella is not money. Mella's not money. Mella is annoying. Of course, that's part of the character and she's supposed to do that. But as an annoying champ does not mean moolah. A dominant champ and an Asuka, that means moolah. That's just me. New Day, at the very opening of the show. I gotta say this, New Day, even when they're not doing anything like in the main title picture, is still hilarious. Now, The Miz. mind you, I gotta say this about Ms. and Mrs. I will be looking at it. I don't know if it's gonna be a good show. It'd probably be a piece of crap. But I gotta say this about Michael Misbin. To be able to convince USA, to convince WWE, to allow him to convince USA to do this, whether he sucks or not, the man got money. So I give that to him. So he did plug his show that's going to be in July. I believe it was in July. And then he goes to New Day saying who is going to do it. Look, I know that, who was it? The Lex Man said that Xavier Woods does not want to be in the main title picture. He doesn't want to have the Money in the Bank briefcase. He'd rather be a manager. More power to him if that's his way. But to be honest, out of all three of them, who's got the most momentum as a character is Xavier Woods. Second is Big E. He just is. Doesn't mean I don't love Big E. I love Big E. He is so hilarious. But if Xavier's written out, it's got to be Kofi. Even though they just put Big E as a shine because of the match after that, because of the pancake bit, you can see it in my face. I was so lucky and managed to grab that shot of the pancake flying straight into Mrs. face. But in the end, the match is not the key here. New Day dealing with the bar is not the key here. The key is this. Whoever's getting that shot to go into the Money in the Bank ladder match, it's going to easily be Kofi or it's going to be Big E. If they're going with Big E, that's cool. Big E is the second strongest person in New Day. But if you're going to be honest, and I've said this for years, Kofi Kingston deserves better. He should have been a champ years ago. Even if he was only one-time world champ, he should have had it. So if they go with Kofi, I would not be angry about that. I'd actually be quite happy if he did win. But that's if they do. But in the end, the last thing I want to say about that, in the end, when you hear commentary with both Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, you kind of wish that Todd Phillips would just have Kofi and Xavier instead of Corey and Byron. I'm just being honest, because Byron and Corey Graves, and I didn't have a problem with Corey before, but now because he flips back and forth, I can't stand him. I want him to just be a freaking heel and stay like that on both freaking shows. Why do you flip from face to heel on both shows? If you're going to be a face on one show, fine. You're going to be a heel in the other one, fine. Why do you flip face and heel on both freaking shows? Face and heel on SmackDown, face and heel on Raw. It drives me insane. I can't stand the man now. But I'd rather see Xavier Woods and Kofi talk than those jobbers. And I'm not being disrespectful. They are actually jobbers. That's how they started in NXT. Anyway, let's see here. Daniel Bryan, and I gotta say this was the best match of the night with Jeff and Daniel. It was. Was it hyped? Yeah. The crowd made this very interesting and hyped. The only problem I had with the match wasn't that Jeff didn't win. I understand what he did with Daniel Bryan. It was the match. Well, I take that back. It was a fact. You see how frustrated I am. That there was a very badly botched count by the ref. Because the ref counted 3 and Daniel Bryan's shoulders were down for that 3. And the ref had to just play it off saying, it was 2, 2, 2. I'm sorry, he had no choice. You could see Daniel Bryan's shoulders were still down. And he counted 3. He did count 3. So that looked real bad. Oh my gosh. That was the only thing I didn't like generally about the match. After the match, when Samoa Joe came into the ring, was cool. He's his next opponent. But what was a surprise was that they did a 3-minute overrun. Oh my goodness. A little bit of groundbreaking on SmackDown Live. Not a second or a minute. It was roughly 3 minutes overtime for SmackDown Live. Maybe they're beginning to build up into Fox, letting people notice that maybe they may have to do overruns on Fox compared to SmackDown Live on USA. That's if that's the reason. They just decided to do an overrun maybe because the match was longer than expected. Joe sounded good. I have no problem with it. But still it upsets me that he got beat by Roman Reigns when he should have won. Now, finally, the stimp that sucks. Or, the cop-out stimp. I think that'll be better to use. The cop-out stipulation. Because the stipulation sucks. I didn't have a problem with how Shinsuke and Nakamura talked. I didn't have a problem with AJ Styles talking. I didn't have a problem with Renee Young talking. I had no problem whatsoever how both of them were interacting and the fight afterward. Going into the crowd, going back into the ring. No, not in the ring. Back into the arena area where need to face happens. No. Last man standings match. No. It's in my face, the last moments. I'm taking it away because it pissed my ass off. That was stupid. That is not a humiliating match. I'm sorry. That match is not humiliating. An I Quit match is more humiliating than a last man standings match because of how Shinsuke Nakamura said, I'm going to humiliate you. No, you're not. You're just going to knock him out with a knee to face. If you're going to go there, a I Quit match would have been, well, that's not the match I want. But it's an understandable match. If they want to humiliate one another, do an I Quit match. But to be honest, the true, and I'm stating this, sorry for the noise, the true match that I know of, out of the years, I've watched wrestling since I've been roughly 8, maybe 7 years old. That's 1978. Going up until now. Even with a break in between watching wrestling sporadically, I've done it over 30 years. No, almost 40 years. Practically 40 years of wrestling I've watched since I've been a kid. There's only been one match I've known of that is humiliating, degrading, and can get the most sympathy and can get the guys over like crazy. It's one, and it's simple. A Singapore cane match. That is the best match to really get people to hate you, to really get a semi-liked face or barely liked face over with the crowd for him to take beatings. Hell, even TNA did it and it got people over. Why doesn't the WWE owns the ECW franchise? They can do a Singapore cane match on a pay-per-view. If they done it, or would do it, it would blow everyone's mind. They would be pulling something that's almost 20 years or over. Old. I keep saying this match over again, and nobody has ever said that's a stupid match. You know why? Because it's the best match to get people over. It is a rare match to have two guys wrestle, and when the other guy loses, that guy's got to stand in the ring where the guy gets a cane, get a kendo stick, and starts beating the fuck out of the other guy until the other guy is satisfied. That is how you easily degrade someone, making them cry like a bitch. That is the stipulation that should have been used, not this. But this is just my point of view. Have a good day. Have a good... Oh, wait. Almost forgot. The last thing I want to say is... what I was talking about early in the review about if I was going to switch going from Raw to SmackDown, I would be working on something. I wish to say that I've been working on 3D animation, and it's basically like Japanese animation, 3D animation. And I think in maybe 4 or 5 months, I might be able to make a show out of it. Maybe. I'm still working on it. I still got things to learn. But it may be possible to actually make a show out of it. So when the day comes, I'll let you guys know. But a lot of people have been seeing it. They really like what I'm doing. So I'll keep you guys up to date on it. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.